Okay, welcome everybody. This is going to be the third attempt at this video. I did a couple yesterday, but the audio wasn't coming through. So I hope you enjoy this. It's quite an interesting little story here. We're going to look today at the comparative mytho-type kind of theme, and two people who really pushed this and discovered it, but pushed it in the just in the 20th century. Rank and Raglan and their mytho-type. So let's have a little look, and I'm going to read from a book as well by David Fitzgerald called Mything in Action. It's volume 2. Really good book, worth checking out. Let me just share the screen here. Okay, so just a quick bare bones introduction. In narratology and comparative mythology, the rank Raglan mythotype, sometimes called the hero archetype, is a set of narrative patterns proposed by psychoanalyst Otto Rank and later on amateur anthropologist Lord Raglan that lists different cross-cultural traits often found in the accounts of heroes, including mythical heroes. Anyone who's interested in Jordan Peterson will probably know a little bit about this. And we're going to find how this fits into the Jesus story. So let's have a little look here. And it's going to be a bare bones kind of introduction, just the nuts and bolts. So, Hail the King. I'm just going to read from here because David Fitzgerald puts it so eloquently and so neatly. In the hero pattern of the life of Jesus, the late folklorist Alan Dundes shows that Jesus closely corresponds to the most ubiquitous model hero narrative, the divine king, or the mythic hero archetype described by Lord Raglan and based on the work of Otto Rank and J.G. von Hahn before him. This famous pattern contains 22 typical recurrent elements based on comparative studies of Indo-European and Semitic hero legends. These 22 distinctive hero type features are: 1. His mother is a royal virgin. 2. His father is a king or a god. 3. His parents are often near relatives to each other. 4. The circumstances of his conception are unusual. 5. He is reputed to be the son of a god. 6. An attempt is made to kill him, usually by the father. He is spirited away. He is reared in a far country by foster parents. You can see already the New Testament kind of type here will be quite apparent. 9. We are told nothing of his childhood. Jesus Christ's childhood is basically unknown to him after his nativity story. 10. On reaching manhood, he returns to his future kingdom. 11. Before taking a throne or a wife, he battles and defeats a great adversary, such as a king, a giant, dragon, or wild beast. 12. He marries a princess, often related to his predecessor. 13. He is crowned, hailed, or becomes king. 14. He reigns for a time uneventfully without wars or disasters. 15. He prescribes laws. 16. He later loses favor with the gods or his subjects. 17. He is driven from the throne and city. 18. He meets with a mysterious death. 19. He dies at the top of a hill. Ring, ring. You see what he's trying to convey here. 20. His children, if any, do not succeed him. 21. His body is not buried. 22. Nonetheless, he has one or more holy sepulchres. Now, no single figure matches all 22 features, or is expected to. These represent a pool of story elements from which hero types are often drawn. And we're just about to go through these different. I think they did this is 12. Yeah. I can't remember how. We'll see how many of these older pagan gods fit this mold, and I think Robin Hood is in there as well, and King Arthur. You'll see. But they all fit this hero type to a lesser or greater extent. Here's how they scored: 1. Oedipus. 2. Theseus and Moses. And 3. Dionysus and King Arthur with 19. So you see here 21, 19, 18. Three-way tie for 4, Perseus, Romulus, and Watu Gunung. 5, Hercules and Welsh hero of the Mabinogion. Lu Law Giffus. 6, Bellerophon. Sorry about this. Bellerophon. 16. 7, Zeus and Jason of the Argonauts. 15. And 8, Osiris. And this is another tie. Nyonggang. 9, Tai. Phelops, Robin Hood. 10, Tai. Asclepius and Joseph, son of Jacob. Now it's interesting here. This is very important. It's interesting that no actual figure, historical figure, manages to score higher than 50% on the scale by Raglan's calculations. Real people don't even make it into the double digits. Even Caesar Augustus, 20%, 27%. In Alexander the Great, 31% barely rate. And Alexander does have some of these hero types with his story as well. And I remember he was reputed to have been born of a virgin by people of the time, philosophers and commentators of the time. That was a very old pagan motif. Yet there aren't here, and we'll read again, there are no genuine historical figures on the list at all. And yes, that includes the Old Testament figures Moses, Joseph, and Elijah, as well as King Arthur and Robin Hood. Only mythological or mythical figures score that high, and yet every single one of them was thought to be a real person. Every single one of them appeared in the historical narrative written about them. Now, David Fitzgerald is an atheist, and he believes obviously Moses and lots of the Old Testament patriarchs didn't exist. I believe they kind of did, but they're kind of hidden away. And I think I've explained some of that on previous videos, so please go back and have a little look, and you'll find they actually did kind of exist in the historical record, but that's another video. In 1958, he admitted to a colleague that, of course, he saw Jesus' connection to the hero pattern, but had no wish to risk upsetting anyone, and so avoided even mentioning the issue. So he did these secret calculations and realized that Jesus actually came out trumps when it comes to this mythotype. And happily, we are way past that concern, says David. So let's tally up Raglan's score for Jesus. Jesus is 1, born of a virgin, and his father is 2, God. He is 4, conceived by the Holy Spirit. King Herod, 6, tries to kill him as a baby, but 7, his family escapes to 8, Egypt. When he is 39, he starts his ministry in the Holy Land. 10, and is baptized. 5, God officially declares in a voice from heaven that Jesus is his son. Immediately, he goes into the wilderness for 40 days to be 11, tempted by Satan before emerging victorious. He travels the countryside. 14, attracting multitudes of followers through 14, his miracles, and 15, his teachings. When he enters Jerusalem, 13, he is hailed as the king of the Jews, but then 16, he is arrested on false charges. His disciples flee and the crowds turn on him. He is 17, taken outside Jerusalem to be crucified, and 18, many mysterious signs occur at his death. 19, atop a hill of Golgotha. He has 20, no children. His body, 21, cannot be held by the grave. 22, and there are several candidates for his empty tomb. Yes, Jesus easily makes up top 20. In fact, he isn't far away and already and away ahead of any other presumably historic individual. I'm just going to repeat that. In fact, he isn't just far and away ahead of any presumably historical individual. He is one of the highest scoring among obviously mythical figures, 20 out of 22, which ties him for second spot with Theseus and Moses. As incredible as this already is his score could arguably be higher still. There are only 2 elements that did not fit. 3, his parents are often near relatives to each other, and 12, he marries a princess often related to his predecessor. And it's neither here nor there, really. And I think this ranking does speak for itself. We're not looking at an historical figure really here. It's much easier to assume that this Jesus Christ was a hero, a mythic hero type that was nonetheless more peaceful than, say, Hercules or Theseus, but nonetheless came from this old Mediterranean and Semitic mold. And these two here, his parents are often near relatives of each other. This is actually could arguably be true if we take some of the other candidates for Jesus Christ in the historical record. He marries a princess often related to his predecessor. Again, this might have been true, and Mary Boethus may well have been a princess. If you take Jesus ben Gamala as being a kind of prototype for Jesus in the Bible, again, these are other videos to be talked about. And so I'm just going to take us back to here now. And I hope you enjoyed that little video. We're going to be running through a few other important things, I think, that kind of dovetail between comparative mythology and the esoteric kind of lore and philosophy, and Gnosticism as well, which I don't like. I don't like that word, Gnosticism. He makes a YouTube channel called Gnostic Currents. He doesn't like the name Gnosticism. It's not a particularly meaningful name. There are so many different types of Gnosticisms. Anyway, that's neither here or there. Please feel free to scissor kick the like button and share far and wide if you like this video. I hope that was quite interesting. I'm going to try and keep these videos under 15 minutes if I can. And over and out. See you later. Bye-bye. I hope to put a video out again soon. Thank you. Goodbye. Have a